Yo, it's your boy Jester the Undead.
And Sam Grimm.
And together we are Sick Fist. And right now, you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your boy Skippy Ickham.
Tried to pull the wool over my eyes so I could not see that you a wolf in disguise, merely playing a sheep. All you ever did was lie so petty and cheap that you could suck a dick and die, wouldn't lose no sleep because you're marked for death, no time for rest. Till my hands around your throat and there was no more breath. Take this big buck knife to the side of your chest. I enter brutal business, go deep into your flesh. Ain't got time for fake friends, only got time for pouring my heart and passion into this ink pen. Cause I write bars, blow minds, create trends, make ends. Every now and then I gotta break, man. Motherfucker, I'm a hip-hop beast and you a hip-hop nothing cause your hip-hop ceased. You try to pick it up again, then I guess we'll see. Like okay, I could destroy you, dismantle your dream. This man right here was a part of my team, therefore was in store for a part of the scheme. To build it up, ill as fuck. Everyone around be feeling us, what? But you had to fuck it up now, didn't you? Chance of a lifetime, I bet that's hitting you. I guess you thought that I'd never get rid of you. Come around me, you know, really be hitting you.
I'm being hated, I don't wanna be the best. I got these demons coming out of me, this weight upon my chest. I'll never claim to be the greatest, but I'll tell you that I'm stressed. So get the fuck away from me before I snap and make you dead. Okay, now fuck a fake, rap a brutal business till we die. Got that chain around our necks, middle fingers in the sky. We never hate or perpetrate, don't save no face, we fierce inside. Fuck a fake friend with this ink pen will take your life.
Once I knew a homie, now he's doing time. Fuck a white beater, I brought you both together. Now she's calling me up every night like it's my fault, like music is proof. Blaming intrusion like it was a ruse. Threatening my work and cutting my job on being a butcher is something I do. Fuck, who you gon' stand by? An artist or someone who damn lies? We talk about the past a couple times, but still this bitch wanna go and try to ruin me, frontin' some punk shit like I don't got ammo stacked up. I know you shelling, your art ain't selling. You target the ones that have came up. Instead, gonna find yourself in a hard place. When I blow up quick, it's so good. You could buy my hits, then slit your wrists like I thought you would. You can see me smile when you hear this. I ain't held no punches once, so when you aim at my direction, know I live this life you could.
I'll never care for being hated, I don't wanna be the best. I got these demons coming out of me, this weight upon my chest. I'll never claim to be the greatest, but I'll tell you that I'm stressed. So get the fuck away from me before I snap and make you dead. Okay, now fuck a fake, rap a brutal business till we die. Got that chain around our necks, middle fingers in the sky. We never hate or perpetrate, don't save no face, we fierce inside. Fuck a fake friend with this ink pen will take your life.
Seems like nowadays stuck in a rage, picking apart the enemy, sitting up on my play. Brain full of hate, but they say it's okay. I don't wanna hear nothing, just leave me to hate. Fuck with the team, you'll get punched in a cheek. Lay you out, chop you up in a lunch for my meat. Turn a beast when I feast, got stuck in my teeth. Bitch, I'm going to hell and you coming with me. Should've never really had to be like that, but someone had to be a little bee like that. You a snitch, tuck a dick it in no G-type rats. How the hell you wanna rap me but never know how to act? Hope you little niggas is watching your back. With a knife in my hand, I won't leave you intact. Brain in your lap when the gun hit your clap. I was deep in your chicken, was up in the cat. Stupidest motherfucker for thinking that I would never stop. But I'm about to go ballistic and shit on niggas for hell across. My lyrics getting thick as a bitch and I get the feeling I'm killing. I'm about to make it so really I'm about to let it stop. So sick of this shit, let me keep it solo dolo when you're rid of my brains. Ain't nobody understood me of the shit that I was in. I be heading the opposition, the enemy with my pen like fuck you.
If I can't play my guitar in heaven, then I just don't wanna go. And if she never really loved me, then God, I just don't wanna know. Already hurt so bad right now. I've been up all night with a tall glass of whiskey, turning thoughts into words and wondering if she'd miss me. But all my words just die on the page as I write them. So I cut out my tongue just to spite them.
Peso best ever. I ain't gonna keep you waiting. Clothes under the bed. Clean it what mother said. Super Soul Saturday radio swing ahead. Small city ties, cold still in my eyes. Like the mad side of the bed and apply. Power and perfection echoes through my mental. Did it off my words, this weapon could shoot simple. No difficult incentives, we strive for blessings. Started off a rumor, but then became a lesson. Overmax confidence, dealing all alone. Mafia approach the store is more alone. Grown man status, the haters just gotta deal with. I don't need you, my records come with a sales pitch. Mind over all, discipline I inherit that, never carried inside, focus on work drive. No time for time wasters, go to my city plus favorite, please hate it. Magazines like 10 times, ask Google about mines, ask the fans about mines. No static connection, I connect fine. Hip Hop 89. See, I'm the inspiration of risk takers. Suicide bars, haters got wrist waiting. Music I lie 100, no downgraded. Peso best ever, music's hope waiting. Echo. Alright, let me go back in there, man. Everybody is copying everybody. Detroit's flow or Future's vocal party. No creative creators, just money baiters. A million streams is 5K out the basement. Imagine a million copies. These record labels are stressed, so they change the market. Peso is a stress, I sell regardless. 500 per day, look, my own market. My fan base is luxury to my product. Cooking up science, so later I sell the knowledge. Illmatic playing in my headphones. I can't even hear these hip-hop clones. Entire music business is a broken home. Doesn't bother a god, I just control the zone. Feel normal basis to most, I just embrace it. Y'all can't take it. I ain't rapping, I'm speaking to hard workers. Can't be lazy and complain it's not working. Super Soul Saturday. And my city was the best day. Straight classic for the masses. Had to be aggressive with my passion. Yeah. Super Soul Saturday. I'm gone.
Okay, let's start over. What happened?
My wife's car broke down, so she took my car. She went to clean my car out, and she found your CDs, and there were 67 of your CDs in my car.
67 albums.
67.
I had no idea I dropped that much music.
symbolize season with fantasy beats. Apologize to what I'm trained. Dialogue, brain is red, brain fucking skin. Salty earth, watch it red, me is all sinking. Guns in there, I can stand, never sleep again. How can you look at yourself? How can you call yourself for me? Just gonna use her. Innocence means nothing. Drag him deep into the abyss.
I refuse to be a victim. I'ma fight for survival. I know what I'm worth and I know what I write is vital. People quote my words like it came right from the Bible. The only real thing you see is the light when your eyes close. Think about that. No, really, think about that. When we get too old, they bring us round back. Throw us away and forget us. After the earth wrinkles our mask. After they recruit us, they use us. After we become useless, they shoot us and just find some new ones. We go through life thinking we're the special ones, but the special ones grow fewer and fewer. We are just players securing their future. Get the paper and hallelujah the moolah. Instead of staying true to our viewers, we forget that snakes ain't nothing new to Medusa. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. If I can help it, I'll avoid confrontation. If I can help you, I'll bring joy across the nation. But I'll strap on my helmet if I'm forced into danger. Threaten me and my family and get thrown towards the angels. Or the demons, bliss or darkness, whichever lore you believe in. There's so much more to believe in than a Lord when you're breathing. But of course, to afford those secrets, you must have no morals or reason. What a strange world we live in. I put spirits in lyrics. If I ever speak the truth, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But you can't put fear in the realist. I'm still here and I'm near. And when people steer clear when they feel this severely addicted. But my addiction ain't nothing compared to what you see on television. What these rappers rap about is self-inflicting. They don't help the children. They just be cooking in the hellish kitchen, whipping up garbage to feed yet another selfish vision. But I ain't participating. I'm going against it and watch. I will still be able to get known in an instant. As long as my head don't get blown in a flow with my rants. When I die, I'll forever be known as the ghost of the limit. There's no slow on commitment. If you're showing resentment towards me, then you need to take a second look. Who's in control of the business? I'm just a vocalist spitting, hoping I don't get thrown in the home where the dope are in prison. I'm too focused to giving. I'm gonna beat me to the top, whether you like it or not. Not gonna freeze and flop. I'm the cream of the crop. I always feed for my props. Not gonna be like my pops. They say I preach like a god, but I ain't preaching religion. The only thing I believe in is me and my squad. PMR with the dogs that you fear at the park. Is the part where your jaw drops and you realize that we're here, but we've been here from the start. Gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim.
gun on my side, I ain't missing. Love on my mind, hugs and kisses. Won't say goodbye with the fussing and kicking. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'll fight for my life because I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim.
Weather it be the money you're reading, the random junkie you've been to the family.
Change your perception. Reality is malleable as you can bend it. Everybody is a villain in another story. But don't get wrong when you're around the game.
What's up? This is Ruthless Motherfucking Rob.
And I'm Two-Face, and we are the Isolated Beings.
And you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your boy Skippy Ickham.
Bringing you the best in underground entertainment today.
In this house, what you don't know will hurt you.
There's a house down the road where I like to hang, next to a cemetery, let the doorbell ring. Take a step inside, have a seat in my living room. Prisoner of doom, wicked shit is what I'm giving you. Murder on the menu, drag you down the hallway. Up all night, cause I sleep all day. Feeding off your misery, I wanna see you suffer. Giving bitches injuries, I'm sick, motherfucker. I'm filled with hate by my front gate. I masturbate when I seal your fate. I knock the life out your ass, stick my knife in your ass. When I slice, it's precise like some lightning. They crash body parts in my garage. It's that Baltimore butcher. Sneak a peek inside my cellar. It's a bunch of dead hookers. Got bones hanging from the ceiling. Watch them decompose. Getting drunk with the spirits. Fucking chilling with the ghosts. Home sweet home. Flesh and bones. Fresh tombstones at the house by the cemetery.
Time to reap what you have sown. You are not alone. Last house
by the cemetery. Welcome to the house by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery. Welcome to the house by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery.
Smoking on that graveyard cushion, bloody Mary Jane. I'm insane, so the rain, zombie Kurt Cobain. Wicked shit in my veins, Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne. Blood drains, leave a stain, dead girls on a chain. As it rain, we retain at the top. Baltimore horrorcore, this is our domain. With the butane, call me Kane. No brain, no pain, this is all part one.
I wanna play a game.
Eyes wide out with the fangs.
cemetery things. Bitch, you know the name, murder's what we slang. Chaos, war games, you cannot contain, you cannot restrain, even with a straight jacket. Bodies are stacking, looking like a graveyard. On my property, and there's no holds barred. Selling bones, black crows, where you go, no one knows that the crib keeper got you when you're never coming.
Home sweet home, flesh and bones, fresh tombstones at the house
by the cemetery.
Time to reap what you have sown, you are not alone, last house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery.
Home sweet home, flesh and bones, fresh tombstones at the house
by the cemetery.
Time to reap what you have sown, you are not alone, last house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house
by the cemetery.
Welcome to the house, last house
by the cemetery.
Wicked Syndicate.
Ghost of the minute, brutal business entertainment. We coming after everybody. Body's about to fall, y'all. Get it? Is this war? Is it more? Break down the door. Bring out your corpse. Not keeping score. Got it locked. Figure 4. Hit record. Bring the torches with the horde. Kill them all. This ain't a war. It's a massacre. This ain't a war. It's a massacre. This ain't a war. It's a massacre. Fuck the world. We'll take on every single challenger. What even is this? Ain't bullshit for 100 songs. I'm all about some shit you never done. Go suck a dong. Fucking cons not ready when I bring the wrath like a fucking con. Hellfire my fucking spine. Hold mics with bloody bombs. Come along, I'll show you death cause you overstep. I'm on with 10, bury you alive, bitch, don't hold your breath. Take that fake chain, asphyxiating till I broke your neck. Raising more hell than Motorhead, hunt y'all like Boba Fett. Fuck these underground rappers too, just little nerds. Clowns on SoundCloud, shout out down, I'm not in the herd. Make the rap game my prisoner, my rhythm sinister. I'm Jack the Ripper with literature, kill them when I get the urge. Been disturbed, I don't give a single fuck about your opinion. Most of these fucking rappers' vocabulary's infant. They catalogs infringement, mine's is just malignant. You don't wanna go to war with me or my contention. Is this war? Is it more? Break down the door, bring out your corpse. Not keeping score, got it locked, figure 4. Hit record, bring the torches with the horde, kill them all. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. Fuck the world, we'll take on every single challenger. This world has been corroded and filled with rodents. Motherfuckers think you owe them and looking for a bonus. Without me, you promoters would have crashed like a Bowen. Saints poet, lead them like Moses, bring in bad omens. I'm done with acting civil, bite the hand, get crippled. Opportunists all around, even fucking fans of pickle. Only there with you on top, treat us as sacrificial. Past the pistol, now I'm the devil dancing in the middle. Start with ignoramus and send them down where Hades lives. Not a fucking thought in their brain, they all just plagiarists. I'm dangerous, aim is miscellaneous, don't play favorites. Don't give a fuck with you, a pagan, atheist, or Satanist. Better watch what you're doing inside my backyard. Don't let us catch you moving heroin powder to black tar. Turning to track stars, repercussions faster than NASCAR. Brutal business logo on your corpse, your villain still at large. Is this war? Is it more? Break down the door, bring out your corpse. Not keeping score, got it locked, figure 4. Hit record, bring the torches with the horde, kill them all. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. Fuck the world, we'll take on every single challenger. Be warned, we don't play warrior on the keyboard. We'll strap your whole fucking family to some C4. Your hunchback, live your mama's basement. Your ego motherfucker put you on a detour right to the seafloor. Always brutal, ain't no time for the crop babies. Most millennials like ladies while I'm spitting rabies. They hear some shit they don't like and run to find safety. I know that God hates me, I'm Satan's calm
Brady. Get on your Twitter and blog, go eat your tapas. One violence don't need a call, so fuck a dialogue. One body's outlined in chalk all on the sidewalk. Can't get a church or a mosque, I wonder why not. If I offended you, I humbly don't give a fuck. Middle finger permanently up, bitch, don't interrupt. Feel like Thanos, I'd much rather turn them to dust. But go on forever like Sizzle Fist, cause this is us. Is this war? Is it more? Break down the door, bring out your corpse. Not keeping score, got it locked, figure 4. Hit record, bring the torches with the horde, kill them all. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. This ain't a war, it's a massacre. Fuck the world, we'll take on every single challenger.
Time and time again, they try to hold me down. They try to tell me that I won't be anything. They try to tell me I'm a fuck up, that I'm garbage. And I just smile, cause you're witnessing the rise of a motherfucking king. Yeah.
Hallucinations of horror haunting my horrid mind. Simulated senses satisfied by scenes of brutal crime. I wanted to give this bitch my knife tip, but by the way she's screaming and moaning, I could tell that she fucking liked it. I've been waiting for the right fit and the right time to cut the lights and leave these motherfuckers lifeless. I've been loving life, well, lifeless. See, I'm a psycho, but hey, yo, I digress. And I just digest all of your innards. I'm a sicko and I'm gathering up food for the winter. I'm the bringer of pain and I am the master of splinters. I'm the shredder of flesh inside of the sewer of sickness. I will gather your blood in barrels to dump them in the river. Make a cleansing of crimson, create a sea of forgiveness. I don't gotta dream about it cause I live this. A nightmare every day and it be endless. I pen these thoughts down on loose leaf, won't ever lose sleep now. Watch me creep through the shadows like a cool freak. Skippy Yickum got the game on lock. You just got a new neighbor, now this ain't your block. Cause I've been dealing with some pent-up aggression. I took the curse that I was given and turned it into a blessing. All my anger and hatred mixed with sorrow and depression into each and every sentence. Use my music as my weapon.
They try and tell me that I'm merely a waste, till I climbed out of the sewer spitting shit in their face. Till I climbed out of these ruins and I laid them to waste. Using hate as motivation, it was fuel for the race. And now I'm first place, and I be flying in my own lane. Fans wanting pictures of me, you was still a no name. And you was still a broke lame. Isn't it funny how the tides change, motherfucker?
I'm one of the dopest out, no need to scream and shout. I've earned my clout, y'all think different, shut your fucking mouth. Cause here's my thesis, I'm just like Jesus for letting myself down, for believing these people could conceive this. Life full of better lands, I'm not a better man, I'm just a seed of sin, I'm bracing for the end, you'll never breathe again. I be coming with the switchblade army, got the skin tight gloves and the all black hoodie. Cause I'm ready to wreck this shit, I'm making my own exodus. Subjected to the fact that I'm a slave to my own deficit. Deaf to all these thoughts because I really can't connect with them. Connecting is the method that I use when I'm subjecting them. A bright flash in the land of the dead. A beautiful butterfly I lured into my web. I sweet talked you, honey, now you're lying on my bed. Well, I'm about to pound you till you're crying, cause I'm fucked in the head. There's no turning back, cause if my mind says do it, it's like 30 seconds later, I'm gonna get right to it. I try to block it out, I try to turn the volume down, but all these voices screaming at me, now they're getting way too loud. I'm blinded, I'm lost inside this dark haze. So much rage, I be stuck in my old ways. I need to try to find a piece of joy, like when I stand against opponents and I leave them destroyed. Because
they try and tell me that I'm merely a waste, till I climbed out of the sewer spitting shit in their face. Till I climbed out of these ruins and I laid them to waste. Using hate as motivation, it was fuel for the race. And now I'm first place, and I be flying in my own lane. Fans wanting pictures of me, you was still a no name. And you was still a broke lame. Isn't it funny how the tides change, motherfucker?
me tell you about the game, motherfucker, brain pain, hey, train started young. Ay, snotty nose on the run, smart mouth got rocked to the knot just to learn how it's done. Ay, food stamps got jacked, hanging out of the back of my lead dunks, and the brains got wrung. Ay, growing up, watching how we stow it up in the year of 1990 to the one. And I never really had anybody to show me anything different. I was a bastard son. Sifted through the hand-me-down racks of a Salvation Army, laughed at by your bastard son. Beat downs, heartbreaks, never had God's sake. I escaped from believing in one. I was ignoring the fact my heart was tore up in black and cracked after eclipse the sun. At the age of my innocence, flipping up the page to the race and significance. Journey with the local, I can show you what terrific is. Put up in a choke by the devil and better visions of vividness. Prison death and living, unforgiving, omnipotent. Shutting up a kid, throwing a demon in his body, right a shotty, doing everything he told me to do, with learning all the evil he taught me, protecting myself from evil coming through. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even cause the hell that I've been through always leading men to die. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even hell that I've been through always leading men to die. Started singing on the side while the devil took a ride deep inside of a child, and I cried. Knowing I will never ever be the same as before when I made a major wager for my life. So I took what was coming while I get a little motherfucker gonna running tears from the eyes. And I knew that I could never shake a planet devil damage, so I managed by shutting down to survive. The grim reaper flew through all my brothers and family like a thief in the night on a jack move. I went to so many funerals that I slept in my slacks, buttoned up with a tie in a black suit. Rigor mortis settled inside my body, even though it wasn't local who was packed up in that tomb. Feeling like I'm trapped and I'm strapped to a maniac, digging in my back through my heart with a harpoon. Dark gloom has been known to consume. When I'm in a meditating, go I right inside a dark room. Got a dark fighting in somebody when I'm hiding, cause the heart is steady sliding to my stomach, but I barf soon. If you never ever found a brother dead and felt the effects of how it hovers inside of your head, smothers your breath like a serial killer with a pillow over your face when you're trying to sleep inside of your bed. Then you don't be knowing death if I'm out and know that you read. Got a little taste when I'm bracing in front of head. Follow me for a minute and holler me need a med. Could have fit the whole ocean from my many tears shed. From my baby little kids, the homies family spread. I've seen many die put aside for a while. And from it all happened in tear ducts ran dry. Now it's like I've evolved to where my eyes can't cry. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even cause the hell that I've been through always leading men to die. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even cause the hell that I've been through always leading men to die. I can't cry, 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 I can't cry. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even cause the hell that I've been through always getting men to die. Cause the ducks ran dry from my pain and I'll never subside, even cause the hell that I've been through always getting men to die. I can't cry.
So I can laugh at the murder show. Bet I'ma start when I cock my clock and let it go. I'm getting it high so I can laugh at the murder show. I'm getting it high so I can laugh at the murder show. I'm getting it high so I can laugh at the murder show. Bet I'ma start when I cock my clock and let it go. I'm getting it high so I can laugh at the murder show. I'm getting it high so I can
from a man on the north side, ride, and I ride ride with a 4-5 and my side and a 9 in the glove box. There ain't no love lost. If you the ops, then you might die. We streaming live. 3 deep in the whip with a pistol grip shockwave. Grim kills the headlights. That's when we get up popping off shots in your enclave. Bodies start dropping like roaches from raid. Frozen in fear, they rolling in pain. The Reaper is calling your motherfucking name. Shoddy, a sickle, the block is your grave. Pray if you will, but nobody can save you. Now you're a star and I made you part of the murder show. You are immortalized every time I replay you. Red rooms, let you live out the fantasy of controlling the murder scene. Whatever you wish us to do is our pleasure. Watch flesh being severed with urgency. Murder is art as the blood splatters the wall with an abstract expression. It lands in every direction as I commence with the living dissection. I know you feeling the rush as you watching the liquid erupt from the wounds. But this is just one of the rooms. The deeper you go and you will be consumed with bloodlust, the devil's work, another sacrifice. And everyone had to die, more souls to command in the afterlife.
Streetlights, creature of the night where the fiends hide. I'ma end it all, you about to take off, but I'm putting C4 in your G5. Got the blackout limousine 10 on the glass, got the dashboard looking like a Best Buy. Now I'm digging in the stash spot, stepping on the gas with a dirty Mac, hit me with a text like let's ride. They ain't never gonna see our face, get the plates, I don't even know whose car this is. All I know is you're about to be erased when the trunk becomes your sarcophagus. Ayy. We're taking your phone and your wallet and watching your shoes and your belt, and you're never escaping location withheld. See, I am Satan, this place is hell, yeah. Guillotine grim, I was summoned from the swamp to burn them all. Now I got a job to do. I'm hopeless and flawed, I got so many problems, and I'ma take them out on you. See, I'ma have the last laugh now in a pound of flesh. Yeah, I'm seeing God in the pain of the death and the sound of screaming broadcast to the world. Hit us on the Cash App, taking requests. You should've never ran your mouth about. That story wasn't yours to tell. I wouldn't have my name ever sully in your lips. I eradicate those who would poison the well. When the sun goes down, I'ma strike. I don't fight and tussle, I slice and puncture. I'm so cutthroat, you're so done for. Memories gone to the gun smoke, come on.
let our frequencies combine. We are all the same, showing teeth and we're in pain. Let me dive into your mind, let our frequencies. We are all the same, showing teeth and we're in pain. Let me dive into your mind, let our frequencies combine. We are all the same, showing teeth and we're in pain. Let me dive into your mind, let our frequencies combine. 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 Frequencies
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? We're the Losers Club. They said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club. I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch. You know what I'm about. We're the Losers Club. They said we never be shit. Is anyone really? My mindset is fuck it. We're the Losers Club. I don't need your clout. I got my army of the heartless, bitch. You know what I'm about. I've been doing this shit for 15. Everyone knows it's Big Dean. Working my shift to pay the bills. Keep pushing to make these big dreams. I'm damaged in the knocking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncovering the Underground radio show, brought to you by First Angel Media and Brutal Business Entertainment. As always, I am your host, Skippy Ickham, and I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. If you are listening out there, whether live or streaming after the fact, please click the like, share, and follow buttons. The more that you do that, the more that it moves us up the podcast community rankings, the more that you can stay in contact with the show and what's going on with it, and the bigger and better things that we can do with the show, so we'd really appreciate it. Share it around to your family and friends. Tell them about the show if you enjoy it. We air you a show each and every Thursday night, 8 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 to 9 uninterrupted underground music, 9 to 10:30 in-depth interviews with great underground bands, artists, rappers, models, personalities, you name it, we have them on the show each and every week. And you can listen to it from the comfort of your home, in your car, from your device, wherever you are, on any platform that you choose to listen to us on. We are on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, you name it, we're there. So make sure you check it out. But very importantly, folks, if you do want to comment during the show, ask our guest of the week a question, leave feedback, anything like that live during the show, that you have to do that through our hosting company, Spreaker, and you can check them out at Spreaker.com or through the Spreaker app. That's Spreaker. That'll allow you to instant message us during the show. I do read off your questions, so feel free to join in. There's already people leaving comments. You can jump in and join them. We would really appreciate it, and we encourage it. I do want to thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. Make sure you check them out at tattooedscumbag.com. They make beanies, hoodies, shirts, sweatpants, socks, you name it, they make it. I wear it on the daily basis. I wear it when I'm out, when I'm at home, when I'm running errands, when I'm on stage performing. I love their gear. It's high quality. It's comfortable. It looks good. And if you're a tattooed scumbag like me, you would love it. So check them out. Use promo code BBE10. That'll get you 10% off your overall order. Again, that is BBE10 for 10% off your entire order at www.tattooedscumbag.com. Check them out. Make sure you also check out Legion Artworks, 5mg Artworks, R3 Graphics, and Roush Designs for everything that they do for the show, for my company Brutal Business, and for, a lot of great underground artists. Thank you for, putting in the time and work to help so many people, guys. Check out www.teambrutalbusiness.com for all your updates of what's going on with here at BBE with my label, our artists, our models, our radio shows, our video game stream team, horror reviews, wrestling, you name it, we have it coming at you, so make sure you check it out. We always appreciate your love and support. We're always bringing you fresh new things, and we're glad you guys are responding to it so well. So much more to come in the year of 2020. So tonight is episode 48. We're rounding the 50 episode marker for this wonderful show. I want to thank all of you guys for allowing this to happen and continue to grow. If you like what you hear, make suggestions to us. Let us know what you would like to see in future shows, what you wouldn't like to see. Any suggestions like that, if you want to get yourself on the show or even have your music played, make sure any of those requests are sent to brutalbusinessentertainment or brutalbusinessent@gmail.com, and I make sure to answer you daily. So would love to hear from you guys. We're going to go ahead and get jumping into the interview tonight. Tonight we have a lovely young lady that's going to be on the show that I think is someone that you guys should certainly meet, hear about, hear her story, and just get to, uncover the underground together with us. We have Nickle Flanagan on the line, and I came across her a while ago on social media. I don't remember how exactly we had come to meet one another, but instantly caught my attention, her look, her style, and I've seen her posts over time, and I'm just kind of a fan of her work and the things she's been doing, so I certainly wanted to get her on the show to share with you guys a peek inside of her mind as we do each week to every artist that comes on the show. So I'll shut up now and let her kind of introduce herself. Nickle, thank you for being on the show.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Same.
So I'm going to ask you a question right off the bat. I'm going to jump right into it. And this is going to be the hardest question of the evening, and I have to start it out that way. Who is Nickle Flanagan? Why don't you tell me who you are?
Well, I'm definitely a full-time mom, but I do model on the side. My passion is piercing. I love doing body piercings. That's another side thing that I do. But other than that, I'm just a laid-back stoner mom. That's about what I am.
There's nothing wrong with that by any means.
Right. And I just do my best to be a mom. My passion in modeling. And yeah, that's me.
That's you in a nutshell, huh?
Yeah, basically.
No, that's great,
I don't
though.
do much else.
You know what, though? When you like something, you're happy with the way things are, you don't really need to add anything else in. You know what I mean? It's as long as you're happy with the things you're involved with, that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, I got to get occasional concerts in, that's my other side, my more crazier side outside of my mom's side.
Okay. Well, I mean, mom's certainly a full-time job, so, that's always going to come first and be the biggest time consumer. But whenever you have those free times, those little pockets of time to yourself, it is nice to get out to a concert, get to, certainly experience some good live music.
Oh, yeah. Been to many, many concerts since I was a young kid.
Now, what's your favorite style of music?
Definitely metal. I do listen to some rap. People give me some stuff about that because they're like, your style? I'm like, yeah, but I just dig a lot of different music. I like jazz even. Frank Sinatra, bring it on.
Well, that's the thing, is you don't have to, your look shouldn't define who you are as a person. It shouldn't define who you listen to, you know what I mean? Like, do you look like an average rap fan? No, you don't, but what's an average rap fan look like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those weird things, people try to get a certain persona in their mind of other people without really knowing.
Yes, that's a big thing. But it's getting a little better, I feel, nowadays.
Now, have you had a lot of trouble with that? Obviously, I mean, for you guys and gals listening out there, if you haven't seen Nickle's look, it's going to catch your attention. But, I mean, I would imagine over time you do get a lot of looks and you get a lot of people acting a certain type of way because they don't know how to, you know what I mean? They don't know how to perceive it or take it. I know people, even myself, I have quite a bit of tattoos. And when I go places, go in stores, I watch people look at me, I watch people follow me around. Like, I see the looks that, I certainly get. I could imagine that you certainly get them as well.
Oh, definitely. I'm the only one in my town, actually, that is modified.
Okay.
Like,
Wow. So yeah, you
extreme.
definitely get the looks then.
Yeah, I get a lot of people that come up to me and take pictures with me and stuff too, though. Like it's not always bad, but
And how do you feel about that though? I mean, whenever people just come up to you randomly, you're trying to go about your day, do your shit, and people are like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you? I don't know you, but I just love the way you look."
yeah, it's gotten scary at some point. That I did have to start carrying a taser and pepper spray, like stuff like bad stuff happens in small towns still. So yes, I've had a couple incidences with guys where I had to get protection afterwards. So
That's a shame.
but most of the time it is like nice people, but you do have those weirdos out there, of course.
There's always going to be a lot of. Unfortunately, there's a lot more weirdos than there are normal people. So, yeah, you do have to kind of be careful, and protect yourself. So you hear that, guys? If you're a weirdo creep fucker and you try to come up to her and mess with her, she's tasing you in the face.
I will too.
Getting tased in the face. Now, what led you into body modification? When was like the start of your desire to get into that?
It definitely ran in the family, tattoos and piercings. And then after I got my first piercing, which I did myself, I just, from then on, like, I just wanted more piercings. And then I got my first tattoo, which is a home tattoo, and I was 17. And then after that, I just kept getting tattooed. And then my baby dad is actually a tattoo artist. So that, I kind of got ink for free for a little while. So that was able to help with me to like move on with the tattoos that I got, which were quite a bit. And then I've just had friends in the industry, and I've, worked in a shop, so I've been around it. But with my split tongue and everything, I'd have to say Zombie Boy was the big inspiration. Like, I've had some conversations with him before he passed on, and like, he was a great guy. He really was. But he was definitely a start to my more extreme modifications and face tattoos and everything.
Okay. Now, you knew from moment one, the very first time, you started feeling, the gun, you knew at that point that it was done?
Yeah, basically, like, I just wanted more.
Okay. No, I mean, and it's funny because people, even with myself, I can't say anymore, and you certainly look like you have a good bit more ink than me. People will come up to me and be like, how many tattoos you have? And I'm like, buddy, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because what do you consider it at this point? When it's wraps all around you, when it's interweaving, when it's sleeves, like, what is that considered? It's just like, I don't know, man. It's what you see.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, I certainly got hooked from the first time as well. I remember, the first tattoo I went, it was like 2 days after I turned 18. I went and got my entire lower back done. And like from my like shoulder blades down, this giant picture of the Baphomet in the pentagram form. And it was just funny, this 18-year-old kid going into the tattoo shop, and I told this guy, I'm like, I want this amazing devil pentagram. And he's like, all right, kid, you sure you're going to be able to handle that? I'm like, bring it on, man. And I sat like a rock. I always have been really good at sitting. And then it just kind of led from there, and now I'm pretty well covered, but I still got some areas I need to get. Now, you far from where you want to be?
I'm getting there. I'm gonna actually get quite a bit of work done this year with taxes. I'm getting my Days of Morgan tattoo finished, so that's basically my thigh and ass, and then let's see, and then I'm gonna get my sleeves finished. But my back is bare. Like, I have a tramp stamp, but other than that, it's bare. But I have a piece picked out that I really would like Ty McEwen to do at one of the, tattoo conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want my back piece, since it's the biggest piece, to be done by, someone like super amazing in my eyes, at least.
Oh, you have to. I mean, it's important to, There's a certain point, but, it doesn't have to be the most immaculate tattoos out there. But then you start looking at as you get older and you're like, well, shit, if I am going to go to someone, at least me, like I don't go often, but when I do, I'm like, I'm going to go get a piece that's going to be breathtaking. And I can wait longer to get that than to rush into something else and not. So I completely understand with wanting to get a really amazing back piece. It's on you forever. It's a very big portion of your body on your back. So you might as well go to someone that you're going to cherish,
Right. Well, like the rest of my tattoos, like the rest of my body is all like the same style tattoo. Like I have a certain style that I prefer, but then with my back piece, that's going to be basically the only different, version. So I
Okay.
think something different that'll help make it stick out is also being the bigger piece as well.
That's cool to mix it up. I mean, and actually it's kind of similar. I have everything is interweaving and connected on me except one piece that I have. And to most, it probably seems peculiar, but it works out to be perfect at the end. It's exactly where I wanted it, how I wanted it to be. But most people see it and they're like, that's very strange. Everything's very interconnected. And then this one in the middle is so different from everything else, but there's a point.
Right. There's always a meaning to something, right?
Exactly. I don't care if you see it. I know what I'm looking at, so, fuck off. So, but no, that's great. Certainly, like I said, I love your work. I love your look. I can't wait to see as you continue to fill up the canvas what you create, and it would be pretty cool to see what you have created for you as well.
Definitely.
Now, why don't we talk a little bit about the modeling side? So you have obviously done modeling, just in general. Now, were you modeling before the tattoos, or did it become a thing because of the tattoos itself and your look? How did that come about?
Well, I actually had a friend who had got me into the modeling because I had pierced her, and then she let me know of this modeling agency who specialized in gore. And she was like, you love horror and everything, you should come model for them. And then I ended up applying and I got accepted. And then it kind of just went from there. And then I've always been interested in modeling, and Suicide Girls was always a big inspiration for me. I've always loved the girls from there. And since I started the modeling, it was more gore. But I was like, well, I already have a decent amount of tattoos. I should just keep adding and then make that more of what I want to model for.
Makes sense. I mean, and plus, like you were saying with Suicide Girls, I mean, most of them are pretty tatted up for the most part. And, you're continuing to add to a look that's going to make you stand out more. And the more you stand out, the more people are going to want to watch you. The more the people are going to watch you, the bigger chance you'd have to get into like Suicide Girls, or just continue to do your own thing. You don't even necessarily these days need a big company like that, but it certainly can help. And I think you do definitely have that look already.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me I should sign up for Suicide Girls, but I'm just giving it time. I want to add some more tattoos beforehand.
Well, you know what? That's perfect though. You don't go until you feel you're ready. And if that's, hey, I got to take 2 more years to do tattoos, it's all about your plan of attack and when you pick and choose when the right time for things are. And that's the thing, is you can't rush it, because you might blow your one chance by doing it too soon. Whereas if you wait, nail it. So very interesting. I think it'll be cool to see what happens out of that. I remember the Suicide Girls when I was younger. I was in high school, and I remember seeing them for the first time, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? You know what I mean? Something so different. Not the regular pretty girl that you see in like Playboy type magazines or anything like that, but you're seeing these beautiful gothic girls with tattoos and such a different exotic look. And I've been always into very dark things, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this modeling company? And then from there was just so many other companies that branched out. That was obviously the MySpace days, and what it's turned into is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It definitely grew quite a bit.
Absolutely. It's become quite an organization. I have a few friends that had joined at one point in time, or were into them at one point in time. They're no longer with them. But like I said, they've been around for the test of time. It's hard to look back on that and think it was so many years ago. But I mean, I don't have an exact year in my head, but I would be safe to say like 2002, 2003 is like my first time coming across them. So I mean, you're talking at least 18 years ago. So they've been around for quite a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely been around for a minute.
Now you had mentioned getting into gore, you know, and being into gore and horror. What is something I always like to ask my guests about, or most of the time at least, is, you know, are you quite a big fan of horror movies, or what catches your fancy as far as the horror genre? Is it the movie side? Is it the comics? What side of it is?
Oh, I'd have to say all of it. I grew up on, well, Freddy Krueger for one. Like that was definitely a bedtime movie for me. Like
Okay.
at age 5 or 6, you know, I just grew up on horror movies. And then as I got older, you know, and I knew more of what was going on, they always just more interested me, as in death. Death, it's always interested me in every way possible. So yeah, the more death in the movie, the more attracted I am to it, per se.
No, I mean, do you feel that there's so, you know, and different people have different tastes and outlooks on horror. So are you more of a psychological kind of fuck with your mind type of horror, or are you more centered towards just blood, gore, and just mayhem?
Both. Definitely both.
Definitely both. So you like a little mix. Okay. Because, I mean, that's the problem in a lot of horror is, you know, movies will just be incredibly gory, but there's really no psychological element to it. It's just so cut and dry, straightforward. And it's like, okay, it's just straight gore flick. And then you got other ones that are very, very psychological, but they don't really strike that certain nerve that you need, you know, struck by the gore side. So you have to have that kind of perfect blend.
Yeah.
No,
but with you know, the newer horror movies as well, you know, they differ completely from the older versions.
They do. And well, the thing is though too is there are some good movies that were older, that were like from the 70s, 80s, that were amazing horror movies that didn't really have what I would call gore in it. I mean, they definitely, even like the original Halloween and stuff, it didn't really show much like blood and guts, but it got you there.
Yeah.
It would scare the shit out of you. I remember as a kid, Halloween absolutely fucking terrified me, but I loved it. Another one that really got me good was the original It. When I was a kid, It was definitely one that, and I'm not afraid of clowns, but for some reason the movie just terrified the shit out of me. But I loved it though. I mean, I've always been a big, huge fan of horror. And, you know, folks listening out there, it brings me to a good point. If you love horror movies, if you love horror news and reviews, make sure on Facebook you search The Gruesome Gazette. That is The Gruesome Gazette. It is a horror review column. They, you know, watch movies weekly. There's about 3 to 5 reviews put out a week on all kinds of smaller horror movies, bigger named horror movies, just an array of news, you know, upcoming movies recently released. And that is a part of my company, Brutal Business Entertainment. So we're always trying to bring you great updates. We have some great writers, and it's a great way of finding out, you know, this movie sucks. I'm glad I didn't watch it because I was thinking about it. Or, you know what, I wasn't going to watch that one, but this review kind of swayed me into wanting to do so. So definitely check them guys out and give them a like and a share. Sorry to give that shameless plug interlude, but we were talking about horror and it made me think of it. But what is your favorite horror movie if you had to pick one?
Well, that would depend on the old and newer. Older, I would definitely say Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. Newer would be Sinister. The Sinister movies, I just adore them. Like the storyline, I love it.
Okay, so that's awesome though, to be able to find something in the newer genre that you love. Now, are you a fan of a lot of the newer horror, or are you kind of against it? Because I'm mixed. There's a lot of movies that they put out over the last several years that have just sucked. Like they've been a major letdown. But every now and again, there's one of those gems that I think just hit perfect.
I agree. A lot of the newer horror movies are horrible. But the new It movies, both of them, I fell in love with. Like, I love it just as much as the older one, to be honest.
I've heard really good things. I have not watched it yet, and I think a lot of people listening out there right now are like, what the fuck? He hasn't watched that? How's that possible? He's a fan of horror. But here's the deal. I watched the old ones like 70 times. Like I said, it was one of my favorite, and still is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Now, I took on the task a few years ago of starting the journey of reading every single novel by Stephen King. And that itself, folks, if you don't know, is a lifelong journey. And that is, roughly like 100-some novels and like 150 short stories. It's ridiculous how much this man has produced over the years. It doesn't even really make sense that a human could have written this much good material. And I started, last year to tackle the task of it. And I actually got to be honest with you folks, it psychologically psyched me out because it is so incredibly fucking big that, I don't mind reading a 600, 700, 800 page book. That's fine. Every now and then you start to get above 800, you're like, okay, that's a little intense. This book is over 1,200 pages long. And that's dedication, and it's dedication I haven't been able to, to really dedicate yet. So I claimed that I would not watch the new It movies until I read the book, because even though I've watched the old one a million times, I just felt it was correct to read the book before watching the new one and seeing their version of it. And until I do that, I'm not watching it, but yet I haven't read the book. So it might be a little while before I finally get to see that, but everybody keeps talking about it. Let's see, we got some comments coming in here. Newer horror is hit or miss. Yeah, it absolutely is. Every once in a while you find a really good, just random side one. I don't remember what the hell it was, but it was a movie that I plugged on Netflix the one day. It was about kids calling a house and pranking people over and over again. It's like, don't hang up the phone or something. It sounds cheesy as fuck. It had the whole like social media element in it, which they've ruined in every movie they've ever done. And this movie ended up actually being all right. I was like, okay, you know what? I dig that. I like the vibe that they came out with. But yeah, it is really hit or miss. 90% of the time they suck. And, it's a shame because they could do better.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Now, are you a reader at all? Do you get into reading the horror, or is it mainly more of the visual aspect?
Yeah, definitely never been a reader of much. I believe the last book series I ever read was Sweep, which was a pagan series. And I actually got my son's name from it.
Okay. No, that's awesome, though. That actually leads us into a great conversation. So, you are, one that is into the occult and esoteric. Is that correct?
Is what?
I said you are one that is into the occult and esoteric. You are into different forms of thought and religion, so to speak, as far as Luciferianism, Satanism, just occult and esoteric, like paganism, things like that. Is that correct?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, awesome. No, I'm a very big occultist myself of many, many different types. It gets a little extreme. I don't talk about it a lot of times because people look at me like I'm a fucking weirdo. It doesn't matter how many tattoos I have and all the intense rap I do and the radio shows and the paranormal investigations and everything else that I do as far as my company. When I start talking about, magic powers and pagan gods and things like that, they look at me like I'm a complete cuckoo. That's the one maker or breaker, I think, for most people. They're like, all right, this guy officially just went off the deep end. Let's see. That Chris Rock show reboot, though, looks interesting. I haven't seen it, Chris. Well, you know what? No. Okay, I read that wrong. That Chris Rock Saw reboot. Yeah, that did look a little fucking weird. They're rebooting and doing Saw in a different light, or some type of branch off of Saw. And yeah, that is strange. I seen that the other day. I don't have basic cable anymore. I cut it down to just, save money, and I can watch Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime for like 3/4 of the price. And I did see that, though, when I was at a bar or something. I seen that come on, and I watched that preview. It looked pretty good. But back to the occult is, if you don't mind me asking, and by all means I don't mean to be rude by asking this, if it's something you don't answer, you don't have to, but is there any specific occult form of belief that you follow?
Satanism.
Okay, Satanism. I didn't know if, I mean, obviously I've seen the pentagrams and different things on the page, but that doesn't necessarily mean Satanism, so I just wanted to clarify.
But with Satanism, a lot of people get wrong. I do not worship the devil. I worship myself. I am my own God.
Now, would it be, I'm just curious because there's different directions to go there. Are you more like Levain Satanism, or are you more like Aleister Crowley Satanism?
Probably Leviathan, I'd say. Yeah, the closest.
Okay, because I mean, there's the different forms. I mean, I believe that as well. That I worship no gods but myself. That I am my own God. Think for yourself. Make your own beliefs and theories. I don't need to worship the word of man that was created. I mean, it's it's a subject that you got to be touchy on because most fans out there can get offended. But everybody knows that I certainly don't mind offending people, and and you know what I mean. I am a firm believer in think for thyself, do as thou wilt, which is certainly the motto of Aleister Crowley, and it's something that people do get wrong, as you said. They believe what they've heard. They believe, oh my God, Satanism, they're out fucking sacrificing dogs and little children and worshiping the devil, and it's not that at all. In fact, if you read a lot about it, it makes more sense in most cases than most modern forms of Christianity. And there's a lot of Christians right now, if they heard that, would absolutely lose their shit. But they won't read the book to actually find out, so shut the fuck up. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in Luciferianism and Satanism myself.
Oh yeah, so I'm drawn to paganism as well. That was another religion I practiced for a little while, which I felt connected to. So paganism, I'm open to quite about all religions. Like I feel they're all interesting to me. Except Christianity is just one of those that it pushes my buttons to an extent.
It will, because they're the one group who will judge, not necessarily all Christians. Yeah. I don't want to condemn all Christians. I'm born and raised Catholic originally, and I will tell you that the Catholics are extreme. I mean, they really are in a lot of senses, and to have to confess to a man in a booth, to say prayers as a penance to be forgiven for the things that you've done. Just a lot of the belief systems are fucking extreme, and they're like die hard on their things. Yeah. Especially like their castles of ivory, let's look at how extravagant of a church we can create to worship our God, where other religions and other even sects of Christianity are fine with being in a smaller cathedral, a smaller church. You got the Catholics that are like, look at our 300-foot building with fucking golden crosses, and it's not to hate against the Catholics. I'm just saying they are extreme in their beliefs, and they usually are the type of people who condemn everyone else. So whenever they hear you are into the occult or the esoteric belief system, whenever you are into anything like magic, real magic, not like David Blaine magic, and you're into anything like that, it's automatically like you're going to burn in hell. And that's insane, because you would tell a Satanist that they're going to burn in hell for their beliefs, but a Satanist, if you are truly studying and reading the books, would never condemn you just because you worship God.
Right.
It's so one-handed, it's insane that the nice people are the, obviously the rude ones, and the ones that you imagine to be rude are the nice.
Yeah, it's more the religions that are judgy because you are another religion is more of my point. Like they're like, oh my goodness, you're this religion, you're a bad person or whatever. Like to me, whatever you worship, that's on you. That doesn't affect me in any way. So
it shouldn't either. I mean, that's the thing, is I never understood that. Like, let me believe what I want to believe, worship what I want to worship, and leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
If I want to dig a spoon out of my fucking kitchen drawer out there and I want to worship that spoon, back the fuck off and let me worship the spoon.
This is my God.
This is my God. Leave me alone, all right? You know, and that's the thing, is that people just need to kind of lighten up in life. And I think that's even become a lot more publicly, as you said, with body modification, with tattoos, with the looks that you probably once got compared to now. It's certainly lightened up a little bit. It's more commonplace to see modifications. It's more commonplace to see tattoos, or even now see people with tattoos on their face. So it's not as shocking. And I think the same thing with a lot of forms of esoteric belief, you know, whether it's Hermetic beliefs, whether it's Luciferianism, Satanism, paganism. People are a little bit more open to that. Now, still, it's shunned heavily, don't get me wrong, but there's how many times do you see people walking around with devil pentagrams on their shirts and no one bats an eye anymore? I mean, it's kind of become more commonplace, and that's good, because people should be allowed to believe in what they want to believe in without the judgment of others, or at least have to worry about others.
Right.
If people only knew the shit that I was into, I would have no one listening anymore. They'd be like, this guy is fucking too much. Now, let's go to our first break. I want to play a song, and this is from a group that's actually signed to my label, Brutal Business Entertainment. These guys are amazing. They're called 9 Stitch Method. They recently released an album called Jaywalking Somnambulist. End of last year. It is phenomenal. It is a 2-piece metal band, and when I say 2-piece, a lot of people will be like, how does that fucking work? You need to see it. The first time I seen these guys, I was skeptical myself, and I'm like, these guys aren't going to be any good. There's 2 of them. They're doing some weird shit with like electronics and programmed drums and things like that. And then whenever they came out, they blew my mind. And since then, they've been playing absolutely all over the place. They've been gaining quite a little bit of buzz for themselves, and I'd like to share a song with you, ladies and gentlemen, from these guys. This is Black Sheep from 9 Stitch Method. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
Still locked outside.
And we're back on Uncovering the Underground. I'm your host, Skippy Yickham, and that was Black Sheep by my group, 9 Stitch Method. Not my group as in I'm in it, but my group that's on my label, Brutal Business Entertainment. Make sure you check out their song on all online digital platforms out there. You are going to search the number 9, then Stitch Method. Look for their album, Jaywalking Somnambulist. It is an absolutely amazing body of work. You guys are going to love it. If you love that song, just imagine a bunch more very similar, but all very unique. So we are happy to be back on the air with Nickle Flanagan, who is a guest of mine for the evening. We've been talking with her for roughly about 40 minutes now, talking about everything from the esoteric to tattoos and body modification to music and concerts to everything in between. And I think this is the time and portion that I'm going to fire some of my more strange questions off that I ask. And not necessarily strange as like goofy, but, you guys know what I'm talking about if you listen in every week, which most of you do. Let's see. Well, first and foremost, I think it's important to know, if you had to choose between fighting a horse-sized beaver or 100 beaver-sized horses, which would you choose?
I'd probably choose the second one.
100 beaver-sized horses?
Yes.
So would you have a specific plan of attack that we can hear?
I would bring my machete.
Your machete and the horses. Damn, you're going in. Yeah. She ain't playing around, folks. Usually people are like...
battle, I tell you.
Holy fuck. Usually people are like, I'd punt them or something, which, okay, I get it. Some people were like, I would throw food to the side and lure them away, and I'd sneak past them. I had someone say that they would make friends with them and ride them off into the sunset. But Nickle Flanagan, folks, said she would hack them the fuck up with a machete. That is how we get down, on Uncovering the Underground, killing horses.
Something that creepy came at me. There's just no way.
What, a bunch of little fucking horses?
Yes,
okay.
There's something wrong there. Okay, that there's some black magic behind that they're gonna come up and open up with sharp ass teeth. You never know.
No, that's true. I mean,
I watched too many horror movies to know that something horrible is gonna come out from all of that.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been bit by a horse, but they fucking hurt and they bite hard. So I can imagine 100 little tiny ones with tiny little horse teeth. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun. Definitely wouldn't be fun. Now, if you had to pick an animal, and I ask this a lot of times too, I get into a strange animal section. Don't even ask. But if you had to pick an animal that would that would be the leader of them all, so not counting human beings, but if the animal kingdom were to, I guess, go to war with one another for the ultimate victor, who would be the ultimate victor in the animal species and why?
I think elephants.
Okay, so you think elephants would win, and why is that?
They're just super smart in every way, and I've watched a lot of documentaries on them, and they can get if one of their own or a child falls into a hole or something, they'll work together to help it. Not a lot of other animal species are smart enough to do that, I feel.
Well, and they do hold memory for quite some time. So I can't talk. Elephants, excuse me, I said animals, are known to have very, very good memory. And they don't forget things. They remember things that happened a long time ago. They remember it again down the road if they come across it again. So they're smart. They're intelligent animals. They're big. They are strong. And as you said, they do work together as a team. A lot of times they will work together if one's being kind of hunted by a lion or by different animals. They will actually stick together and kind of like a pack mentality a lot of times to protect one another, which is not something you see too often.
Yeah.
I like it. You're the first person to actually ever say elephants, and that's why I like that question, because I've had almost 50 guests on the show, and you hear answers every single week, and it's always very different. But I have yet to hear elephants, surprisingly. Now, why don't you tell us, being in modeling, being in the scene, being someone who stands out a little bit more than your average human being, which is a great thing. What lessons have you learned? And what I mean by that is, if you had to say, throughout this journey that I've had, there's been some experiences that I've learned from. I certainly wouldn't do them again, but they helped grow me into who I am. What is one of the things that you look back on and you say that I don't regret it, but I certainly wouldn't do it again, or I wish I would have known sooner? And I know for me, it was wasting time in areas of focus that didn't need my focus, where I could have spent that time bettering myself and growing even faster as an artist instead of putting my work into useless endeavors. That was a big thing of mine, that it was a hindrance, that I just wasted too much time on stupid things that I should have been more focused on.
I would have to say my past drug addiction. That was definitely quite a few years wasted.
Okay.
I could have, gotten pretty further in life. It was a big reason that I wasn't able to finish college as well. So,
well,
yeah.
You know what, though? I mean, you're here today, and that's the important thing, is that, but it made you into who you are, so that you can regret it to the sense you wish you wouldn't have done it, but at the same time, if you wouldn't have done it, then who you are at this moment wouldn't be you. So, I mean,
yeah,
you don't, you know what I mean? And for anybody out there, whether you like your life or you don't like your life, you always got to look at where you're at now. Who knows what the other route would have been? So if you could have picked a moment like that and say, I wish I would have done things differently, well, that's great. Maybe you would have never done drugs. Maybe you would have went a different path. But who knows if that path wouldn't have ended up leading to something 5 times worse than this one.
Right.
And I like to think about that a lot with people. So I'm glad to hear that you certainly got over any problems that you had there, and then you've kind of overcome. And now you're living the mom life, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There's nothing better in the world, I think, than kids. I think they're great. I mean, to raise your children and just get to teach, to have a little mini you and teach them what you know is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about concerts earlier, and I wanted to kind of jump back to that. I always ask a few silly questions, then we get back into the seriousness. We break it up a little bit. So you said that, before the show, and me and you were just chit-chatting a little bit, that a lot of the music that you like to listen to, unfortunately, hasn't been really coming around our area. It's more in the UK. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Who are some of your favorite bands?
I love Rammstein, Korn. My all-time favorite, though, is Attila. I love Franz in every single way possible.
Okay.
One day I will meet him. Which I've seen him plenty of times. Motionless in White. Let's see. Butcher Babies. Gosh, when I have to think of bands I like, it's always so hard. But
there's a lot.
yeah.
Whenever you get asked and get put on the spot, it's like, oh shit, they just all went away.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, that's awesome. You still named quite a few, and it's a shame. Yeah, the thing is with Europe, it is becoming, and it always has been, kind of a mecca for a lot of amazing tours and shows in Europe, across London, across England. And it's becoming big again as far as a lot of scenes going across seas, because it's more fruitful over there. There's more money to be made. They have less conditions that they have to worry about with the shit in America in a lot of cases, although there are some other things that they have to worry about in a sense more than here. But it seems like the tours a lot of times go smoother, and I know a lot of artists, including some of my friends that are famous at this point and doing some pretty big things, that tour in Europe more than they do over here, just for the fact of they get more love, more respect, and they get huge crowds constantly.
I could bet.
It's just strange. It's like, and it's funny too, because like hip hop, like on a hip hop sense in Europe, is fucking absolutely dominating right now. Most people wouldn't know that over here. You say hip hop in Europe, like European hip hop, absolutely. They got amazing spitters over there, and they got a massive underground scene of amazing underground hip hop artists. And I'm actually a huge fan of UK hip hop, and 90% of the hip hop I listen to, folks, and this is a fact that you guys didn't know, you hear it tonight for the first time, if I had to name my top 20 rappers, I would say that probably 10 or 12 of them are from the UK, which is pretty impressive, you know, because who would have thought? Most people can't even name one hip-hop artist from the UK, but it's always been a big passion of mine to listen to European UK hip-hop. I think that they have a different feel. I think artists, too, a lot of times when I have album covers made for my music and things like that, I use artists from Europe, from Germany, from Russia. The biggest artist that I go to is 5 Milligrams, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is one of our sponsors, and he's from Indonesia, and his work is phenomenal. I just feel like for some reason Americans lost touch with a lot of art form compared to some of our distant relatives. Thoughts on that?
I do like Die Antwoord.
That's some weird shit.
In South Africa, right? Is where they're from?
I believe so, yeah, and it's the weirdest shit on earth.
Yes, they have some crazy out there music that's pretty epic.
It is. I won't say I'm a fan because I'm not, but I will say that they certainly do them. You know what I mean? Like, I will give them credit for just saying, you know what, we don't give a fuck. Because if anyone who hasn't heard it, go listen to just one song and you will understand that these folks just don't give a fuck about anything. It is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. My buddy, I was in a really good underground horrorcore rap group called Syntax. And my buddy Luma the Impaler, which we don't speak anymore, but whenever we were really close, I never heard of them before. I had heard their name, but I'd never seen them. And it was a handful of years ago. And he threw on this YouTube video, and he's like, dude, check these guys out. And I remember, like, not knowing if I should laugh, if I should be weirded out. Like, I didn't know what to think. It captured so many emotions at one time, and any good music should. And I know that they've done some really big things. He had, like, a major crush on her, the singer. I don't know what her name is, but he was, like, way, way into her. And, yeah, strange shit. Definitely some interesting music to listen to. It's all over the place.
They actually have a kid together. They were in a relationship.
I've seen
and
some
they're
crazy
the ones,
shit recently about them, yeah.
The movie Chappie. They're the main characters.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Huh. It's all their album as well.
Okay. I didn't know that. See, like I said, I knew about them. I hadn't followed them too closely, but I watched a few of their videos over time, and every time I just laugh because I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, that's different. Like, there's nothing else in the world like them. You can say that.
That's for sure.
Now, what other type of art are you into? Do you do any other type of art? So obviously you model, you are into concerts and music, and you go to that. Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you write poetry? Do you do anything else that the fans out there should know about?
I used to write poetry when I was in high school. I definitely ended up giving that up. And I'd say I did the same with art too. I was super good at it and then gave that up in high school. High school was a bad time for me. That was when, like, I did everything artistic, and then, like, you know, that depression hits because high school. But no, not really. Besides hair, like I said, I went to college for cosmetology, which didn't graduate or anything, but I still learned all the skills from it. So I always do my own hair and stuff.
And you do good with your hair. Your hair is very vibrant, at least in several of the pictures I posted on the posts out there, folks, if you've seen. Always very colorful, always very well done, though. It doesn't look like shit. There's so many people that dye their hair and they just fucking ruin it, and they're going around and you look at them and you're like, what did you do? And yours isn't like that. So you have good color change. I mean, you have multiple colors in a lot of the pictures I've seen, and it blends very well. And I mean, I'm sounding like a weirdo right now, folks, but I can admire some good fucking color changed hair and some good dyed hair if you do it right.
Yes. I love doing different colors. I've done almost every color already, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a girl I used to go to school with. She did good. She was an odd bird, and you know, she constantly changed her hair color, did crazy stuff. I remember her, she shaved her head bald on the top, and she spiked out on the outside a crown, and she had dyed her hair green, and she came to school, and I don't know if her purpose was to be the Statue of Liberty, but she sure as fuck looked like it. And it was radical as fuck, though, and she was just this misfit kid that just didn't give a fuck, and I always admired that about her. She played guitar, I played guitar, we knew each other, and yeah, she would just come to school, and pretty much she was that one kid in high school that was just like, you know, fuck everybody. I am that one. And I always had a lot of admiration for that. Now, I'm getting, what's that comment say? Oh, that's about the one movie earlier. I had seen another comment come in. It was talking about, someone's still talking about the Saw movie. Now, we had one other song we wanted to play, and then I wanted to come back, wrap up with one or two last questions, and get you wrapped up here. Let's see which song we want to pick. I am going to go with dun, 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 Name Withheld, Any Port in a Storm. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
Oh no, man! I see a lot of ugly women, man. Just for me, ugly to the bone. She's a fucking nasty fucking bitch, man. Gotta love her.
Equal opportunity is what I'm all about. What's the sound? Never mind, I got my dick inside your mouth. My libido's gone crazy when I'm hazy. So crazy. Come to bending over all these old ladies. Ruthless as fuck, I leave their pelvic bone broke. You're broke. Cause I think it's fun and games, but no joke. All these urges got my dick so hard. Fuck the living, dig up playmates in the local graveyard. I'm a sex fiend, something obscene. Stick my dick in anything, I'm living the dream. It doesn't matter what it is, cause I'm going in dry. Do or die, save the tears, I don't wanna hear you cry. Beauty skin deep, but I'm made in just past. In that ass, tear it up till it's fully prolapsed. Then I'm on to the next, appetite unsurpassed. I'm jerking on cars from a busy overpass. Men, women, children, I just don't give a fuck. A hole is a hole, and your hole just got stuck. No, it's just another way to tell me yes. When I'm on my prowess best, to lock the door and pray you're not next. Men, women, children, I just don't give a fuck. A hole is a hole, and your hole just got stuck. No, it's just another way to tell me yes. When I'm on the prowess best, to lock the door and pray you're not next.
Oh, this chick was such a slut. She fucked two of the nastiest. The total nastiest. The one guy can't even walk and got 6 toes, man. Nasty fucking.
Neighborhood creeper and I'm out on the prowl. Call me foul when I push my fingers deep inside your bowels. In these waters, it's any port in a storm. Callus covered, my dick is weathered and worn. Pop off their shoes, rub my cock on their toes. In between it goes, and I arc my load in their nose. Choke and poke into rape, you now fall. Fuck them all, high and cracking, now I'm rubbing my balls. 5 o'clock, cock hidden in your room. The wretched stench of death counts down the doom of your womb. Muzzle load a baby back into its mom with my dick. Till it clicks, no one buys it, so I gotta get pics. Drunk at the park, with my pants soaked in piss. I try to cop a feel, but stumble to the ground and miss. Another day, another hole, an alcoholic abyss. Fuck my fist till I lose all feeling in my wrist. Men, women, children, I just don't give a fuck. A hole is a hole, and your hole just got stuck. No, it's just another way to tell me yes. When I'm on my prowess best, to lock the door and pray you're not next. Men, women, children, I just don't give a fuck. A hole is a hole, and your hole just got stuck. No, it's just another way to tell me yes. When I'm on the prowess best, to lock the door and pray you're not next.
It's like you got punched in the face by God.
And we're back on Uncovering the Underground. I am your host, Skippy Ickham, and that was Name Withheld, Any Port in a Storm. If you've never seen Name Withheld, you know, that's some shit you should see at some point in your life. He's actually from Ohio as well. Underground horrorcore artist. His show is extreme, not for everybody. he'll tell you himself he's been kicked out and banned from a lot of different places he played because his shit is just, it's intense. It is not even the music, I'm saying the show that he puts on is very, very intense. So shout out to Name Withheld for his intensity in the underground scene. Now, let's see here. I want to ask you one or two more questions, and then we will wrap it up here. If you had all the time back that you've just all the years, all the time that you feel that you've wasted in life, if you had it all back, whether that just be laying on the couch watching movies, whether that be past relationships, whether that be anything that you have done, if you could have all that time back to put into something now in life, to choose to use those spent hours towards something else, what would it be?
To finally be moved to California. That's like my dream home. Yeah.
I see. So Kelly's the place to be, huh?
Yeah.
God bless you. I couldn't do it. I've been over there, and I don't know. I like it. It's fun to visit. It's a nice place. I've only seen parts of Cali though too, so I can't speak fully because I've never seen Northern California, and I'd love to go up there and see like the redwoods and everything, and Southern California. I've seen like more middle state, and it was nice, but it just wasn't my feel and vibe. I'm definitely more of a wooded, East Coast, foresty type guy. Now, have you ever spent any time over there?
No, sadly, I have only been out of state once, and it was Tennessee. But I've just always wanted to go to Cali. I have a old high school friend who actually moved there when I was younger. He still lives there, which he's asked me to visit a few times.
You should do it. If you get the chance, you should do it.
Yeah, and then I feel for a back burner state, it would be Colorado. I've heard quite a few nice things about there. So
I will tell you what, you can't go wrong probably either case. Like I said, I've been to California and I liked it. It was nice. Just wasn't my feel per se, like I said, but there's still a lot of other areas of California since it's such a very, very large state. So I can't speak for the state, completely, but Colorado is phenomenal. And I've been to a lot of places, luckily enough, and that is the one place that I've told my wife that if we were to move out of Pennsylvania, that I would be willing to move and live would be Colorado. We've been a lot of other places. I said I love it. I could see living here short term. I'm like, but I couldn't see staying here the rest of our lives. Colorado is definitely one that I could move to in a heartbeat and stay there.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. I'm really into hiking and mountains and fishing and things. So, I mean, there's no better place than there just because it's all there. Nature in your face. It's beautiful. The air is just so fucking clean and pure. And it's a great place to be. Another place would be Seattle, but Seattle's very, very expensive. I liked it there a lot too, but it's like crazy fucking retarded expensive. Like, the price compared to over here is insane. Like, you hear how much they pay for a house over there. I'm like, I could buy like 5 houses over here. And I could have like the whole fucking block for the price that they pay for one house over there. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty up there.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But that's just me. To each their own. Some people like having, a 1-bedroom, $1.2 million house, They're like, I paid $1.2 million for this. I'm like, what did you get? They're like, I got a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom. We got a crawl space to put our stuff in the basement. I'm like, that's fucking horrible, but, good luck to you.
You're right.
No, but definitely I would suggest if you get a chance to go over and visit your friend, do it. Life is too short not to take chances and not to just step out of the box. And I know it's hard to find time, hard to find money, hard to arrange it, but sometimes you just have to make it work. Because those little choices that you make sometimes have the biggest impact. And maybe your first step to getting over there is just taking a trip over, seeing it, and it blowing your fucking mind and peeling your wig back, and you say, I'm moving. Or maybe you end up saying, hey, I don't like this at all, and I'm deviating the plan a little bit. But I think that would be a big path changer for you, I believe.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I need to get out of here.
I will say you probably do. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I like to make fun of Ohio. And no offense to the people from Ohio out there, but Pennsylvania and Ohio always kind of fuck with each other. And back in the day, there was always a scene rivalry from some of the metal bands in the Ohio area and in Pittsburgh, area, and we would kind of fuck with each other a little bit. So it's all in good fun. But no, Ohio is kind of boring. There's some cool stuff there, but it is a very boring state.
It's awful.
It is. It's awful. It is literally hell incarnate here where I live. Now, yeah. What area, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell me the exact town, but what area of Ohio are you out of?
I really couldn't. I live in Tiffin. It's this small, rich bitch town, to be honest. And
now, is it closer to Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati? Which major city is it closer to?
Every single one of those cities are around 2 or 3 hours from me.
So you're dead center in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of the state, but I mean in the middle of them.
Do you know where Toledo is?
Yeah.
I'm an hour from Toledo.
Okay, I just played Toledo last year. It did not go as planned. Some shows do. Some shows, you get asked to come on and play. You travel. You do, whether it's a tour or it's just single shows, and you go out and play, and it's packed, and you have a good time. And sometimes it's not. We took a trip, me and a couple of my guys, out to Toledo for this very big rap showcase that we were supposed to be doing. And we showed up, and we were the first people there. And I'm like, well, that's not good, because we were the out-of-towners that people were expecting, and it was locals. And we showed them we're the first person there. And I'm like, oh, how the fuck are we the first person when it's 5 hours away? And yeah, it didn't get much better throughout the rest of the night. We met some cool people that night. We still had a fun night. We always have a good time as a crew together. But there had to have been maybe 13 people that came to the show the entire night. And I'm like, we just drove 5 fucking hours and have to drive 5 hours back. So 10-hour, 11-hour round trip to play for 13 people. And I mean, I'm still humbled. I've been doing music for a long time, and that's fine. Still play for that many people and have a good time. But it doesn't suck any less, folks, when you drive 11 hours to play for 13 people.
Yeah.
It's a kick in the balls. Now, why don't you tell us where we can check out, your pages, follow you if anybody's interested in seeing your work, anything that you do. If they want to get behind the life of Nickle Flanagan, how would they do so?
Well, I have a modeling page on Facebook. It's Narcotic Nickle. Same with my Instagram. It's under Narcotic Nickle. I would say my Facebook, which is Nicolette Flanagan, but it kind of stays maxed out on the friends. So,
good luck getting in, guys. You can try, but you might wait.
Yeah, so best would be my modeling page or my Instagram, definitely.
Awesome. Well, folks, make sure you check it out. Check out her modeling work. Check out her posts. Check out everything she's doing. And goddamn it, check out that beautiful, colorful hair that she puts out and does for herself, as we were talking about. Who would you like to thank?
Definitely my photographers out there. I'd like to thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
It was pretty rad, man.
Oh, absolutely. I love meeting and talking to good people.
Hell yeah. And definitely my son, because he's the reason I'm here and always will be. So.
Nothing better in the world, like I said. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on and spending a little bit of time with us tonight. Folks, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you share it around. As we said, the more you share, like, and spread this around, the more people would hear it and the bigger and better things we can do with the show. Check out all things Brutal Business Entertainment at teambrutalbusiness.com. Once again, we do want to thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel, Roush Designs, R3 Graphics, Legion Artworks, and 5 Milligram Artworks for everything that they do for us. Make sure, if you were just tuning in halfway through the show or here towards the end of the show, that after this ends the live portion, you can go back at that point and then stream it from the beginning after the end portion ends. So make sure you do that. If you've missed any of the show, check out all of our past episodes as well and hit that follow button so that when we release our new show each and every week, you're reminded. Life gets in the way sometimes and we forget to check on things. This will remind you when our shows are dropping or as they go live. And each and every week we have a great guest on, so make sure you check them out. The next 2 weeks are no different. We have a young buck who I think everyone needs to be listening to. He goes by the name of Jay Allen, and I think this is certainly a name to watch out for in the rap hip-hop community. He's been doing very well for himself. He's about to release his debut album, and I think you guys are going to love it. So make sure you check that out next Thursday. And then the following Thursday, we have the crazy bastard Freaky P from Replicon Radio coming on. We're doing a mixed radio show, folks, and I'm very excited to have him on. If you don't know who he is, check out his company, Replicon Radio. They are one of the biggest underground interviewing talk show type shows like mine out there, and we appreciate them coming on and wanting to kick it with us. We go way back, and it's going to be good to catch up with Freaky P. So make sure you check out the show, and other than that, we want to thank you guys for listening in tonight. Nickle, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
For sure, thank you.
All right, folks, we'll catch you next time here on Uncovering the Underground. Have a great night.